It's productivity time.
It's productivity time.
It's productivity time with Upwizer
And Blue Ninja.
Everybody, welcome back to this month's hashtag productivity, our Facebook Live, and it's almost that time of the year. It's the end of the year that's rapidly drawing to a close. And we hope that you are getting ready to celebrate Christmas time just like we are with our hats and our jumpers in the UK and the Netherlands. It's too hot in South Africa to be wearing jumpers today. So we're going with the hats. And we really hope that you're going to take some time off to rest and get ready for the new year that lies ahead. Now, last month we discussed the topic of how to deal with being too busy and the never-ending to-do list. And I know I've got a stack of things that has to happen before the end of the year and before I go on holiday. But we discussed making sure that you have some boundaries in place. Like I know I need to, blocking our time to focus on a particular task and grouping things together rather than just responding to every message or task notification that comes in. So planning and prioritizing and tools can really help us to do just that. Now, this month we are going to be talking about delivering innovative solutions, and you might be like, I don't know what this is. Might sound like some sort of dark art or maybe a little bit techy. So ladies, what do we mean when we talk about innovating or innovative solutions?
Ooh, and an innovative solution, in our types of business is a combination of technology and services. And there are many different aspects to this, as you can imagine, so start from how you currently work, what improvements you can make. Then you think a bit wider about what tools and software are available to help you, with the manual, repeatable tasks, all that stuff that reduces the risk of human error, which happens. It always happens. And once you have these in place, it's about then innovating, brainstorming, coming up with new ideas or ways of working, but also keeping an eye on your market and your competitors. We talk about this all year round, to see what others are doing and whether that's the direction you want to go in or possibly not.
And of course, it's easy to be swayed by the latest, shiniest thing on the market. So ensure that it works for you. If it will work on your particular platform you use and how much work it's going to be to ensure that it will integrate with other elements that you want it to, for example, your calendar or your website, etc. I'm building some time for this. In a previous role, I came back from leave and was replaced by a system. It happens, but I did explain it would take a while for the team to get familiar with the new system, trained up, and in the end I stayed longer to make sure that it landed well. So don't forget that people are part of innovation.
I definitely agree with that. And I just want to add on to what Julie, you mentioned about being swayed by the latest, shiniest thing. I've been going to some Christmas markets and it's interesting to see what the new trends are that are coming through, but then you see it like every single market and everyone is trying to do it, but it works for some businesses and some don't, and I think it's so important that we try and, almost like stay in your lane, make sure that you choose the right tools that suit your needs and don't be swayed by everything else. So, we always talk about tools, right? So do we need to be tech whizzes to be able to actually become innovative or to come up with these creative solutions?
Yeah, I love tech. I love it. So to me, I'm like a kid in a sweet shop, when anything comes up, I'm like, oh, I want to know what that does. Yes. And for anyone that browses AppSumo, it's a great website that brings in new tech products and introduces it to the market at a very affordable price, often for a lifetime deal. And from time to time, the latest software deals are there and it's easy to get carried away. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Julie was holding me back a lot of the time from going, are you sure we need this? Do you think we need this?
But deal. Why would you want to say no?
But often it's, will the products work with what you've already got? You spent time setting up your business, do things, make things compatible. We've worked with a client and the non-tech person was sent away to buy the system and they were sold something that didn't fit with what they needed and was expensive and didn't integrate with any of their other systems. But we had no opportunity to change it. The contract was signed, it was done. So we had to roll up our sleeves and just get on with it. And that was a big challenge. But it doesn't always have to be like that. And we strongly recommend not adopting that process of just buying it and hoping for the best. Don't get too carried away. Evaluate your potential investment. It might be the right thing for another business, but is it right for you? As you said, Christine, is it still in development? If yes, the system may be a possibility once they've ironed out all the kinks and bugs, etc. And it can take time, but there's no need to rush. You're managing to get by as you are now, so don't get sucked up by the buy now at a special price hype, or that salesman who just has the most amazing deal that just happens to be available on that day only. It could be a very costly mistake.
And maybe you need the non-tech person in the business to keep your feet on the ground. If the non-tech person, yes, that's me, struggles to use something, is it the right tool long term? We've probably mentioned before that we started out in our partnership using G Suite, but we weren't sure if it was the right thing for the business long term. So we went back to Microsoft Office. Think about what works for you long term. You don't need to jump on the next big thing. You need to evaluate it and make sure it works for you.
I must admit, I'm very much a sucker for good sales. We've got a shop that always over Christmas, they've got a purple sticker special where you can get anything in the shop that has the purple sticker 3 for 2, and that's like my favorite place to shop. It's terrible. So I'm sure a lot of our listeners can relate to that, and I think when we get to our businesses, it's so dangerous to be in that mentality. So Louise, I really, really agree with you. Make sure you've done your research. It's not just about capitalizing on that good deal. So do you guys have any suggestions on how one can go about innovating as a small business?
Well, keeping your ear to the ground and being very open to new ideas, reading articles, blogs, attending webinars and events. Even if you're not sure if they're a great fit for your business, there'll be an opportunity to meet and network with other business owners, and that will bring innovation. It will bring new ideas and really lead you into paths that you might not have really thought of before. Invest in tools that will make your job easier to do and keeps you ahead of the competition. Automation can help you capture who's visiting your website and how you engage with your audience. Don't miss those opportunities to look at new systems and tools, but bearing in mind how they already fit and integrate with what you've already got.
Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Sorry, my internet decided to conk out there. So innovation, it doesn't need to be technical. It's just about improving how things work. And this can be in the simplest way. So review your suppliers from time to time, especially if you feel like you're not getting the best service. Challenge them and feedback to them and let them know you're not happy with something, or shop around and see, what else you can get at the same cost or maybe better. Apart from asking clients for a testimonial when you finish working with them, ask them for suggestions for improvements, especially if it's a new service or a package you're providing. If it's not quite hitting the mark, it'd be good to find out and see how you can improve. Whenever you're planning or checking in on progress throughout the year, challenge yourself. You don't want to get left behind, but see what you feel comfortable with. If it feels like too much of a risk, don't do it, but revisit it another time.
Yeah, and I definitely think now at the end of the year is a really good time to just do a little bit of an audit or an analysis of the tools that you have implemented to make sure that they are still doing the job, right? And, maybe there are some that you can get rid of or, retire as you are moving on to bigger and greater things. So maybe just as we talk about tools, are there any that you would like to recommend just in closing?
Just on your last point, I would say that, unsurprisingly, Julie and I have a spreadsheet that we track all of our purchases, when we purchased, when they renew, because often you're quite surprised when something renews. You're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Keeping an eye on what you've purchased and what you're using is really helpful, because, we know someone who bought 2 systems that almost did exactly the same thing, and she just hadn't realized that what they were. So, a tracker will always help. And as always, there are just too many tools for me to single out. I would say that AppSumo is a good place to start to see what's out there in terms of new tools. But just make sure you are very sensible with your selections from there. Really ask yourself, do you absolutely need it? And I speak very much from experience. And apart from try before you buy, and checking out, the version that you buy is the one you've tried out. Because sometimes tools will give you the better option because they want you to buy that and see what it's like, but it's often not always what you actually want. So just be careful with those. Try before you buy tools, and involve other people in your innovation process. You might not like all the ideas, but how will you know until you work through them? It'll also make you think very hard about what tools you have and evaluate how useful or cost effective those tools are to you.
I was on mute. There we go. I absolutely agree with you, Louisa. APP, absolutely, not AB, absolutely. Just for those of you guys that might have picked up on that. I totally agree. I think it's so important for us to make sure that we are researching our tools well, and I think the one common trend that has come out throughout the entire year this year is find a solution that works for your business. Each business is different. We need to make sure that we're customizing according to our requirements. You can read up about it, you can research about it, but at the end of the day, until you can actually put it into practice, test it, and make sure that it's working for you, you're not actually going to know. So sometimes you do need to take a little bit of a risk and, just at least test it and see if it's going to work. As long as you have the option to pull the plug, then I think that is a good way to learn and to figure out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, and be aware as well with software that once you're in, it's sometimes very hard to get back out. So,
yes.
There are tools where once you've committed to them, you have committed. So you really need to take the time to make smart decisions because they might be innovative at the time, but in 3 years down the line, will they grow with you?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I guess that's where we come full circle, right? And understanding what the vision is for your business and where you're wanting to go in the future, your systems have to support that. So you need to get clear on your vision, which, might even allude to what's happening at the beginning of 2022, full circle. So we've got some subjects lined up for, January 2022. But we would love to hear from you guys, our loyal listeners and followers, to find out what you would like to know more about and what subjects you would like us to cover. So go ahead and pop them in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you and see how we can add that into our program for the year. So ladies, just in closing, do you guys have anything else that you would like to add?
No, I'd just say keep going. Being a small business is tough. But if you're on your own, you're not on your own. So reach out and ask for help. And we're here. We'd love to hear if we can help at all. So just keep going. So just smash it. I don't really like using that term, but let's just get 2022 and smash it.
Love it. Louisa, anything from you?
I think go back and have a listen to some of our other sessions from this year. We talk about mapping your tools, mapping your journey. There's a lot of good information in there to help. So, if you're new to our webinar, or if there's something that you might have missed, just go back and have a listen because, we've got so much information there to help you. We look forward to talking again in 2022 about some new stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely just want to affirm what Louisa said. There are blog posts that go along with every one of these sessions that we've done. So a royal big punt to the Blue Ninja Business Support blog. Go follow them, sign up to their newsletter. There's also tons of good information that's coming through there. And ladies, I've really loved our sessions together this year. It's been great just to getting to know you guys better, and the topics that we've discussed I think are super relevant for a lot of small business owners. So thank you very much for your time. And I think all that leaves me to do is to wish everyone a very happy Christmas and an awesome new year. Try and stay away from the New Year's resolutions and instead do some goal setting. So from Upwizer and the Blue Ninjas, ladies, we'll see you guys again in the new year. It's been absolutely fun. So until our next #productivity, this is Upwizer and the Blue Ninjas signing out. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you today by Upwizer and Blue Ninja. Upwizer, your strategic financial partner of choice to improve your productivity and profitability. Visit upwizer.co.za to unlock your full potential. Blue Ninja, your online business management team for streamlining and improving your business functionality. Visit blueninja.eu because every business needs a ninja.